Hey guys, this is Luis here. Welcome to the fourth video. We are about to do our installation. In our previous videos, we looked at how to install Hyper-V, looked at the basic features of Hyper-V, then we created our network. Now, before we proceed to our operating system installation, I want us to have a brief discussion about the need for server administration or the need for the server operating system, so those of us who are new and are learning from the beginning can actually catch up. Now, when it comes to networking, the reason why we need the server is this. Based on resource location, networks can be categorized into peer-to-peer networks, and then we also have the client-server network. Now, with the peer-to-peer network, computers are peers. Most of the time, they run client operating systems such as Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows XP. Now, no computer controls the other computer. All the computers are bosses of their own. So whenever I have a file on my computer and you need it, I have to share it, and then you can have access to it. And once I share it, any other person can also access it, because there is no centralized management. There is no way to tell who can access it and who cannot access it. So that brings us to the second classification, which is client-server network. Now, in the client-server environment, you have a central system acting as a server, or a central system being the parent there, which controls all the activities that occur on the entire network. So in the client-server network, resources are stored on a server, and then the server is used to manage access to those resources, who can access it, what they can do to those resources. Now, both peer-to-peer networks and then client-server networks can be further categorized into work groups and domains. Both work groups and domains are ways that Microsoft group computers on a network. Now, when we say work group, basically home networks, computer networks that are in the home, and peer-to-peer networks are going to belong to a work group. There's no centralized management. Everybody is a master of their own system. Then with the domains, you have all the computers being controlled by a central system. Mostly this would be a server that has a directory service installed on it. So that is work groups and then domains. Now, Server 2012 is a Windows operating system, a network operating system that allows you to manage resources on your network. With the previous Windows, there were so many editions. Server 2008, there were so many editions. We had the standard, we had the data center, the enterprise edition, and all that. But with the Server 2012, we have the data center and then the standard edition. Even though we have others like the Server Foundation, the Essentials, the Hyper-V server, the web server, and all that. But then for enterprise sets, you are looking at the data center or the standard edition. Now, previously, Microsoft used to license servers, as in the various editions were differentiated by the features that they can handle. But then this time round, with the Server 2012, they are not separated by features, but rather they are separated by virtualization capability. So if you want unlimited virtualization, then you're looking at the Server 2012 data center. But then with the standard, you have low density or no virtualization. Most of the time, the virtual instances are just 2. And then also, to use the Server 2012, you are also going to need client access licenses for all your clients that are going to be accessing the server. Now, the client access license is not the same as the product key you use to register your operating system. This is actually a license to prove that all the clients you are running on your network are certified to connect to the server. Now, every software has a system requirement. The same thing applies to the Server 2012. So with the 2012, it only comes in 64-bit processors. It only comes in a 64-bit architecture, and for processor, you need a minimum requirement of 1.4 gigahertz. Now, this is just what the operating system needs to be able to run. So you have to put in consideration the applications you are going to run and other processes that are going to occur on the network. So you are going to need a higher processor speed. Then with the RAM, you need a minimum of 512. Again, you have to put in consideration the applications and the processes and the services that are going to be running, the number of users that are going to be connecting to this system. So you need very high RAM. Then with the disk space, you require a minimum of 32 gig. You require a minimum of 32 gig. So you need at least 32 gig. But then here again, it's going to be dependent on the applications and the services and the files that the server is going to be used for. Then we come to the installation. Now when it comes to installation, there are 3 modes available. We have the clean installation. Now with the clean installation, this is where you are clearing everything from the hard disk and then you are installing your new operating system. Then we have the upgrade. With the upgrade, you already have a previous version of the Windows and then you wish to get the new version of the Windows. So in this case, you are just changing the features of the previous Windows whilst also maintaining your files and then your settings. That is the upgrade. Then with the migration, you have a previous version of the Windows, but then your hardware cannot support the new Windows. So you get a new hardware, do the installation on that, then you transfer your files and settings onto that particular system. That is the migration. Then the Windows installation sources, we have the optical disk, which is the DVD. Then we have the USB, so you can prep a USB flash disk for the installation. Then we also have the Windows deployment services. Now with the Windows deployment services, you're looking at a network installation where you have a centralized server controlling the installation processes. And here you can automate the installation, add drivers, and then all the other stuff. Then we also have what we call the full server installation and the server core installation. You know, this was introduced with the server 2008. That's the server core. But the problem with the 2008 was if I installed the server core and I did not like it, then I have to format the entire system again. But with the server 2012, if you install the server core and then you're not okay with it, you can always go back and then add some features to it so it becomes a full installation. So basically this is our introduction. In the next video we will kick off and then do the installation. Thanks for watching.